Welcome to Plantophiles, dear plant parents. Today we will talk about the century plant, which also goes by the names of Agave Americana and American Aloe. This flora is found within the family Asparagaceae, or flowering plants that have long monocot leaves and flowers that resemble lilies. Agave Americana is naturally found in regions of Mexico, Arizona, and Texas. They are considered relatively easy to grow, especially when placed indoors. There are, however, a few parameters that you will have to meet in order to keep them happy and healthy. So let us now discuss how you can provide this plant with the best care possible. Soil. These individuals are found in desert regions, meaning that they are used to areas with light soil. Potted plants need a mixture of porous soil such as sand, peat, and clay. The reason for having such a light soil type is due to the poor root system. This allows the nutrients to be absorbed more easily. They should also be provided with plenty of drainage. Also, they are drought tolerant but don't do well when sitting in water for long periods of time. Light. As you would assume, the century plant absolutely adores sun. Being a desert native, they tend to need full sun for the majority of the day. It isn't the end of the world if you can't provide this indoors though. Even sitting in shade isn't detrimental as long as it's done properly. Gradually transition your century plant from a room with bright sun to that with shade. This should be done over the process of 2 weeks. Any sooner and you can risk burning the foliage. They need some time to adjust to the changed circumstances. Watering. The watering needs of a century plant can depend on a few different variables. The time of the year can have an impact. During the growing season, the plant requires more frequent watering since it goes through a dormant period. In winter, the century plant rarely needs any water at all. Those thick leaves act as storage since it's been adapted to live in the deserts. Many are happy to find that you only need to add water about once a month during that period. Temperature. Living in the desert means that these individuals have to be able to withstand warm days and chilly nights. Growing one of these floras indoors takes that challenge away entirely. The best conditions for a potted century plant tend to be anywhere between 15 and 21 degrees Celsius. In all reality, they can handle a wide range of temperatures. Anything aside from freezing and you should be fine. Humidity. Agave Americana isn't really all that picky when it comes to humidity. The average range of humidity that you would find indoors should be more than sufficient for these individuals. This falls in line with most desert dwellers as they don't really have much moisture hanging in the air. One thing to note is that these floras do prefer fresh air if you can manage it. Placing them next to an open window can yield great results. Fertilizer. Have you ever seen the flowers of any desert plant? There's something similar when you compare different species of these types of plants. This isn't always the case, but generally they all share large flowers. Producing such grand blooms takes a lot of energy. If you give your century plant plenty of sunshine and fresh air, you shouldn't have a problem. In case you want to help them out, consider investing in a liquid fertilizer. Only use it during the growing season at 2-week intervals. They don't really need any more food than that. These plants produce parts that are known as offsets. Also referred to as pops, offsets are separate parts of the plant that have developed from the mother plant. They are essentially clones. You can use these to actually propagate your century plant, given that most of the work is done for you. Other methods of propagation involve seed germination and leaf cuttings. Potting. Even with an exceptionally slow growth rate, it is important to repot when they need it. Their root systems are poor, meaning that this should be handled very carefully. Without transferring them to a new container, the roots will become cramped, leading to stunted growth. These plants should be repotted in the spring during periods of growth. Expect to do this every year for a healthy century plant. Be careful and make sure that each pot has drainage holes so that you don't end up letting your flora sit in water for too long. So that's already it, all you need to know about century plant care. If you did indeed enjoy this video, we would be more than happy if you could subscribe to our channel, and please don't forget to hit the notification bell. Thanks guys!